Well, hello all, and you're very welcome to the channel. Today I am creating flowers with, as always, flowers I've grown from my garden. We only ever use British grown flowers here at Common Farm, and it is the King's Coronation. So I am, of course, creating great big arrangements. Excuse my very worn out work sweater. Anyway, great big enormous arrangements with my garden flowers for Number One Bruton, which is a small hotel in our local fashionable town. And I'm very excited because as of 10:30 or something last night, the embargo was lifted on the news that King Charles III of these sceptred isles is only having British grown flowers at his coronation at Westminster Abbey tomorrow, and they're being arranged by Shane Connolly and his team. And so I'd just like to say hats off, sir. You have set an example to the world for sustainability in floristry. We're very lucky in this country. We live in a temperate climate where a great many different kinds of cut flowers grow in abundance. And so my whole business was set up because I thought I would specialise in British only locally grown flowers, because I just didn't see that we needed to import so many. And here we are, 13 years since we started at Common Farm, and the King is only having British grown flowers at his coronation. So hats off, sir. And join me as I create today. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Press the bell icon and we will let you know when we've got more clips coming up. And if any of the tips and tricks I give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee, or better still, join my club. And the links to coffee buying and club membership are in the blurb to all my clips. This clip is, I quite often do large arrangements for YouTube, so that's fun. But possibly the most interesting part of this is the way that I've taken two very bog standard but quite nice sized urns, which I bought the other day at the supermarket, Morrison's, and they needed a bit of aging. So Fabrizio takes you through the aging process as part of this clip. So it's quite a long clip, but I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, come along for the ride. I'll see you as we go along. Right, I'm here in fashionable Bruton, and as you can see, the flags are fluttering, and this is the little boutique hotel, Number One Bruton. And I'm here to look at the window. Sorry about the wind. Look at the window to see what I can do to help dress it for the coronation. So, if coronations are not your thing, then look away now. It's rush hour, so it's 8:10 in the morning, which is why there's so much traffic. Anyway, all the shops have their banting. This is the flower shop in Bruton High Street, fashionable Bruton. This is the holiday shop, feeling patriotic. The charity shop, very excited about the coronation. This is one of my favourite shops, gorgeous rose and lions. And they're very much getting into the spirit of things. So having seen what Bruton has to offer, I'm going to go home and make something to join in the fun. So there's been a great deal of conversation about these two urns, which I bought from Morrison's for I think 35 quid each the other day. They are not very large, hand for scale. They're made of some kind of composite metal kind of cardboard thing, so they're quite light. And I thought they'd be just the thing for the window of this lovely hotel, but they are kind of flat grey. So I've asked Fabrizio, who's an artist, to kind of give them some texture. So here he comes. Okay, here we go. So first of all, ooh, gold spray. Just generally. Ooh, very exciting.
Small amount.
Very small amount. Okay. Okay. We've now got gold all over the yard, which is also very exciting. They'd been outside since I bought them, so he's kept the outside on them because it adds to the texture. And now this is classic Fabrizio, mushing it up, the paint, and looks quite ruthless. He's adding some bits of dirt from the gravel. Ah, very interesting. Oh, and he's flapping it around. Exciting times. I promise you, this is going to look amazing when he's finished because he's so good at this. And the skill is to not be too perfect, isn't it, Fabrizio?
Yeah, well, I'm being perfect. Just rather clumsy.
He says he's being a bit clumsy. We should be wearing our microphones. And then a bit of green. Ooh. Lighten it up a bit. The idea is to make it look as though they've been covered in, if you have stone urns and you want to, or terracotta pots, and you want to age them, the skill is to really cover them in yogurt and leave them outside, and the yogurt will encourage bacteria to come and live in the porous terracotta or the stone, and they'll colour up nicely. A bit of green, bit of moss, all of that stuff will come and live there. Look how much better they look already. That's amazing. So imagine what these are going to look like full of flowers. So now he's throwing earth to muddy them up. The idea is to make it all, just adding a bit of compost to the process. Then he's going to paint them on. And he carries on in this vein until they're finished. So I'll show you the finished product when it's done. So Fabrizio has mixed up a bit of concrete. Obviously he's wearing gloves and eye protection when he's dealing with concrete. This is from a bag of old stuff that we've had lying around. He's a great forager for bits and pieces. And he's going to brush the concrete on. So we're still aging these urns. So he's brushing the concrete on. So the concrete's been mixed up with some wood and some earth and some paint. And he's just sloshing it on. And later on he's going to take it all off again. So what he does is he builds it all up in layers. And then once it's dry, he'll get a brush out and start taking it all off, so that it doesn't look as though it's been painted. It'll look as though it's worn. That's the challenge, is to look as though it's old and worn, not as though it's brand new from Morrison's. Not so much for my compost bucket, but they're drying off nicely, look. Oh, yeah. And as you can see, it's Coronation Day -2, so 1 string of pearls. I love this stuff. We do pomp and circumstance well in this country. Let's enjoy it, for goodness sake. Look, everything's getting exciting in the village too. We're all getting in a flap about the coronation. So now, Fabrizio has just been brushing off a little bit, but not much, and it just looks worn and old. There's texture and depth of field, and after this event, I would definitely just drizzle a bit of yogurt over them and leave them outside to green up. Because now there's a bit of texture here, then there's something for lichen and moss to cling onto. So they'll wear nicely. And then here's the second one. It's got lovely texture down here. It certainly doesn't look as though it was bought the other day from Morrison's, brand new. And when it's full of flowers, which I'll show you when I've done them, it's going to be, I hope, stunning. Right, it's Friday morning, the day before the coronation. We have plenty of material cut here. I'm going to make these two great urns. And the news is out that all the flowers at King Charles III's coronation are going to be British grown, no imported flowers. In one stroke, the King has done more for the locally grown flowers industry around the world than anybody has ever done. That's a sweeping statement, but I really think so. In a world where certainly the cut flower industry is one where people are used to flowers just being flown in from wherever in order for them to have roses at Christmas, or, to satisfy the desire of people to have something luxurious at any time of the year. The King has said, no, enough. It's not necessary. Let's have the very best that his country can supply. And Shane Connolly is, I expect right now, this very second, putting them all into vases, possibly not himself, but with a large team. And so, well done, the King, and good luck, Shane. And I can't wait to see what it all looks like tomorrow. So, meanwhile, of course, here in sunny Somerset, Number One Bruton is flying the flag for British flowers this coronation weekend, and I am going to supply them. So here they are behind me, and I'm going to do one of those speedy uppy films where I make the arrangements. Right, it's not exactly Westminster Abbey, but I have the two urns, one there and one there, that Fabrizio antiqued yesterday. And I'm going to do one of those slow-mo things where you can see me quickly making them. I've got to remember the space they're going into. They are not going into Westminster Abbey. They're going into a reasonably sized drawing room in a small boutique hotel. So while I could make them absolutely vast, they can't fill the whole room up. This one's going by the fireplace. So there is a limited amount of space between the armchair and the fireplace. I mean, literally, the corner is like this, so I can't overfill it. Although it can, I don't think they're lighting the fire, it's May. So it can reach into the fireplace a little bit. And then this one is going to go in the window because I think they're going to take that mirror we saw yesterday when I went and had a look at the space, is going to not be in the window. And this is going to be in the window. So full on British flowers, full on foam-free mechanics, sustainable floristry, yes! In fashionable Bruton as well as Westminster Abbey, because you know what? The future of floristry has to be sustainable. We can't ruin the planet by flying flowers across the earth. We can't. We have to stop, and we have to use what we've got locally. So here's what we have locally. Ready, steady, go. And there we are, red, white and blue. The tulips are Happy Generation, I think. Camassia is the blue, and they will come out over the weekend. and white from the Honesty and the Cow Parsley. Foliage, lime by Burnhamopulus, crabapple, elm, hornbeam. Don't forget the gold buttons provided by the buttercups. Not millions of them, but just a few. They're just coming out. And I have cut more, but actually, I think it's important to know when to stop. So I'm stopping. That's the one to go next to the fireplace. And this one will go in the window. But you'll have noticed I've been going around the back a lot because it actually also, whoops, tripping over the bicycles. It needs to face the centre of the room as well. So I've done the back as well as the front. And that, my friends, I could go on stuffing it, but enough already. Right, let's go and deliver them. Right, there they are in the back of the van. Right, and here they are. In the end, the mirror is still in the window. So they're framing the mirror. I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. They're enormous in here. This is not an especially large room. And so I've really filled the room with them. But they're really lovely, I think. And as the Camassia comes out, the blue will get bluer. The tulips will grow out and they will get redder. There's plenty of white from the cowslips. And there we go. Let's go and see what they look like outside. And there they are through the window. I have to say, they're catching the light nicely and they're framing the mirror. There's a competition for the high street to see who's going to have the best window. So I hope Number One Bruton does. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm so thrilled that the King has decided to have British grown flowers at the coronation. Not because British flowers are any better than flowers that are grown anywhere else in the world, but the locally grown flower industry around the world will be benefiting from what the King has done. And so thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate we small flower growers all around the world really appreciate what you've done for us by having an entirely sustainable floristry explosion of flowers at Westminster Abbey tomorrow. Have a lovely coronation weekend, everybody, wherever you are in the world. I hope you enjoy a bit of British pomp and circumstance. It's one of the few things we do really well. So I expect, I have very high expectations. I will be glued to the telly tomorrow and I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all very soon.